What if the woman you see on television, confident, smiling, powerful, once felt invisible, broken, and afraid? What if the voice that now speaks to millions around the world was once quiet, shaking, and full of pain? Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a small girl standing alone. The room is simple. The floor is cold. The air feels heavy. Outside, the world looks wide and unfair. Inside, her heart feels even smaller. She does not feel special. She does not feel loved. She feels unseen. This girl does not know her future. She does not know about bright lights, big stages, or people listening to her every word. She only knows fear. She only knows silence. She only knows how it feels when life is hard and no one seems to care. Now imagine that this same girl will one day become one of the most powerful women in the world. A woman people trust. A woman people admire. A woman whose words change lives. Her name is Oprah Winfrey. But before the fame, before the success, before the applause, there was pain. Deep pain. Pain that stayed quiet for many years. Pain that lived inside her heart like a secret. When you see Oprah today, you see strength. But strength is not something you are born with. Strength is something you build, slowly, when life tries to break you. This story is not about success only. This story is about survival. It is about a child who felt unwanted. It is about a young girl who learned to speak when the world tried to silence her. Maybe as you listen, you will hear something familiar. Maybe you have felt afraid before. Maybe you have felt small. Maybe you have felt like your voice did not matter. If that is true, this story is also for you. Because this is not just Oprah's story. It is a human story. A story about pain, hope, and finding your voice, one word at a time. And today, as you listen in simple English, you are not just learning a language. You are learning how stories heal. You are learning how words give strength. You are learning that even the most powerful voices once started as a whisper. So stay with me. Listen closely. Because this journey begins in a place of pain, but it does not end there. Oprah Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, in a small town in Mississippi, in the southern part of the United States. Her life did not begin with comfort or joy. It began with struggle. She was born into poverty. This means her family was very poor. Her mother was very young and not ready to raise a child. Her father was not present in her early life. From the beginning, Oprah felt unsure of her place in the world. She did not feel safe. She did not feel wanted. As a baby, Oprah was sent to live with her grandmother in rural Mississippi. This area was quiet, slow, and far away from big cities. Life there was simple, but it was also very hard. There was no running water in the house. There was no indoor bathroom. The days were long, and the nights were dark. Her grandmother loved her in her own way, but life was strict, very strict. Oprah had many rules. She had chores to do every day. She had to behave perfectly. If she made a mistake, she was punished. Sometimes the punishment was painful. Sometimes it was silent. Little Oprah learned something very early. The world was not gentle. She wore old clothes. She often went to school looking different from other children. Other kids laughed at her. They called her names. They made her feel small. At school, Oprah felt lonely. She was quiet. She watched more than she spoke. Inside her heart, she carried many questions.
Why am I here? Why does no one hold me? Why do I feel so alone? She did not have toys. She did not have books at home, but she had one gift, her mind. She listened carefully. She remembered words. She loved stories. She loved the sound of language. When Oprah spoke in church, people noticed her voice. It was strong, even when she was very young. She could remember long Bible verses. She could speak clearly. For a moment, people listened. But when she went home, the silence returned. Her childhood was not warm. It was not easy. It was filled with confusion, fear, and loneliness. She often felt unwanted, like a guest in her own life. Still, deep inside, something was growing. A quiet strength, a small light. She did not know it yet, but these hard beginnings were shaping her future. Every difficult day was teaching her how to feel, how to understand pain, and how to listen to others. This was the beginning of Oprah's life, a life that started in struggle, a life that began far away from comfort. And this was only the start.
As Oprah grew older, her life did not become easier. In many ways, it became more painful. Behind the quiet face and strong voice was a child carrying deep emotional wounds. At a very young age, Oprah experienced abuse and neglect. These experiences were confusing and frightening. She did not understand why bad things were happening to her. She only knew that something inside her was breaking. She felt unsafe. She felt ashamed. She felt alone. No one sat with her and explained her feelings. No one asked her how she was doing. So she learned to stay silent. She learned to hide her pain behind a calm face. She believed that if she did not speak, maybe the pain would disappear. But pain does not disappear when you stay quiet. It grows. Inside her mind, Oprah had many thoughts. I am not good enough. This is my fault. No one will believe me. These thoughts stayed with her day after day. They became part of her inner voice. She stopped trusting people. She stopped trusting herself. At school, she tried to focus. She worked hard. Learning became her escape. When she read or listened, she could forget her pain for a short time. Words became a safe place. Stories gave her a break from reality. But when she was alone, the sadness returned. She felt different from other children. They laughed, they played, they looked free. Oprah felt heavy inside. She felt older than her age. Childhood for her was not a time of joy. It was a time of survival. Because of the trauma she experienced, Oprah lost confidence. She questioned her worth. She believed that she was broken. She believed her life would never be normal. There were moments when she wanted to disappear, moments when she felt invisible, moments when she wondered if her life had any meaning. Yet even in this darkness, something important was happening. Oprah was learning how deep pain feels. She was learning how silence hurts. She was learning what it means to suffer alone. These lessons were not kind, but they were powerful. One day, as she grew older, Oprah realized something important. Her feelings mattered. She began to understand that what happened to her was wrong, that she did not deserve pain, that her silence was not protecting her, it was hurting her. This understanding did not come quickly. It came slowly, over many years, but it was the first step toward healing. Her childhood trauma did not disappear. The emotional pain stayed with her for a long time. But instead of destroying her, it began to shape her empathy. It taught her how to feel for others.
It taught her how to listen. Oprah did not know it then, but her pain was becoming part of her purpose. Reflection prompt for learners. Have you ever felt like no one was listening to you? Have you ever kept your feelings inside because you were afraid to speak? You are not alone. English learning focus. Expressing feelings. I felt scared and confused. I thought no one cared about me. I believed my voice did not matter. These simple sentence patterns help you talk about emotions in English. You can use them to tell your own story. For a long time, Oprah believed that silence was safer than speaking. But life slowly showed her something different. When she moved to live with her father in Nashville, Tennessee, her world began to change. Her father was strict, but he believed in discipline, education, and words. He made Oprah read books, he made her study, he made her stand up straight and speak clearly. At first, this was difficult. Oprah was shy. She was afraid of making mistakes. She was afraid people would judge her. But something surprising happened. At school, Oprah joined speaking activities. She read poems out loud. She spoke in front of her classmates. Her voice, once quiet and afraid, began to sound strong. When she spoke, people listened. This feeling was new. It was powerful. It was healing. For the first time, Oprah felt seen, not for her pain, but for her ability. Words became more than sound. They became a bridge between her heart and the world. Soon, she started participating in beauty pageants, not because of beauty, but because of talent. She spoke, she told stories, she shared ideas. Judges noticed her confidence and her voice. Then came a moment that changed everything. Oprah was still a teenager when she got a chance to work at a local radio station. She was nervous. The studio felt big and serious. The microphone looked heavy with responsibility. But when she spoke into it, something felt right. Her voice sounded natural. Her words flowed easily. She felt alive. This was the first time Oprah understood something very important. Her voice had power. Speaking was no longer something to fear. It became a way to express pain, joy, and truth. Each sentence helped her stand taller. Each word made her stronger. This was her first real turning point. Not fame, not money, but confidence. She learned that her voice, once silent, could now open doors. She learned that communication could change her life.
Finding her voice did not mean Oprah's life suddenly became easy. In fact, after hope came disappointment. When Oprah started working in television, she believed she had finally found her place. She worked hard, she prepared carefully, she tried her best every single day. But the world of media was not kind to beginners, especially young women who did not fit the usual image. At one of her early TV jobs, Oprah was told something that hurt deeply. She was fired. The reason was simple but painful. She is not right for television. Those words stayed with her. Being fired made her feel embarrassed. It made her question herself. It made old fears return. She thought, maybe I am not good enough. Maybe they were right. Maybe I should stop trying. This moment was especially hard because it touched her past wounds. As a child, she already felt unwanted. Now, as a young woman, rejection felt familiar, like an old pain coming back. She saw other people succeed. She saw others move forward, and she felt stuck. Criticism followed her everywhere. Some people said she was too emotional. Some said she talked too much. Others said she did not look like a TV star. Oprah felt confused. Should she change herself? Should she become someone else? Self-doubt became loud in her mind. But even in failure, something important was happening. Oprah began to understand that rejection was not the end. It was information. It was telling her that this job was not the right place for her true self. Instead of giving up, she kept moving. She took another job in television. This time, it was different. She was allowed to be herself. She listened to people. She connected emotionally. She spoke from the heart. Slowly, things began to change. Failure did not disappear, but it no longer controlled her. Mini language lesson, talking about failure in English. You can talk about failure using simple, honest sentences. I failed, but I learned something. I was rejected, however, I did not quit. I felt scared, yet I continued. Useful contrast words. But shows change. However, more formal contrast. Yet, emotional contrast. Example, she was fired, but she did not stop believing in herself. Failure is not shameful in English or in life. It is part of every success story.
After failure and rejection, Oprah began to understand something very important. If she wanted her life to change, her thinking had to change first. For many years, her mind was full of fear. Fear from childhood, fear from pain, fear from rejection. These fears spoke to her every day. You are not enough. You will fail again. You don't belong here. But Oprah slowly learned that these thoughts were not facts. They were habits. She began to question her inner voice. What if I am enough? What if my past does not control my future? What if my pain has meaning? This was not easy. Changing the way you think takes time. Some days, old thoughts returned. Some days she felt strong. Other days she felt unsure, but she kept practicing. Oprah started using positive self-talk. She spoke kindly to herself. She learned to say words like, I am learning, I am growing, I am allowed to take space. These simple sentences became powerful tools. She also learned how to express her emotions instead of hiding them. For years, she kept everything inside. Now she allowed herself to feel and to speak. This inner growth changed how she worked, how she spoke, and how she listened. People could feel her honesty. They trusted her because she was real. Oprah's strength was no longer only her voice, it was her mindset.
With time, Oprah's career began to grow. What once felt impossible slowly became real. She was given her own television show. At first, it was just another talk show, nothing special. No one expected it to change history. But Oprah did something different. She listened. She did not talk at people. She talked with them. She allowed guests to cry. She shared her own feelings. She spoke about pain, fear, love, and healing. Viewers felt understood. They felt safe. The show became successful, then very successful, then historic. Oprah became famous. Her face was everywhere. Her name became powerful. She earned money, respect, and influence. But something important must be said. Success did not erase her pain. Even with fame, old memories returned. Even with applause, some nights were quiet and heavy. Pain does not disappear just because life looks good on the outside. Oprah understood this deeply. Instead of running from her pain, she used it. She turned it into purpose. She talked openly about her past, not to shock people, but to help them heal. When she shared her story, others felt brave enough to share theirs. Her pain became a bridge. She used her success to help others find their voice, to feel seen, to feel less alone. This is emotional maturity,
understanding that pain and success can exist together. English learning angle, advanced emotion words. Purpose, a reason for doing something. Meaning, deep importance. Impact, strong effect on others. Example, she used her pain with purpose to create impact. When we look at Oprah Winfrey's life, we do not just see a successful woman. We see a journey, a long, difficult, human journey. Her story teaches us lessons that are simple but powerful. Let us slow down and look at them together. Lesson 1. Your past does not define your future. Oprah was born into poverty. She experienced pain that no child should face. She felt unwanted, invisible, and broken. But her past did not decide her ending. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. What happened to you explains where you came from, but it does not decide where you can go. In English, you can say, "My past was hard, but my future is open. I am more than my mistakes." These sentences are not just language practice, they are truth. Lesson 2. Your voice matters. For many years, Oprah stayed silent. She believed speaking was dangerous. She believed no one wanted to hear her. But the moment she found her voice, her life changed. Your voice matters too. When you learn English, you are not just learning words, you are learning how to express ideas, feelings, and dreams. You can say, "I want to share my opinion. I want to tell my story." Your accent does not cancel your message. Your mistakes do not erase your value. Lesson 3. Pain can become power. Oprah did not hide her pain. She transformed it. She used her suffering to understand others. She used her story to help people heal. Pain is not something to be ashamed of. Pain can teach empathy, strength, and courage. In English, try, "My pain taught me strength. My struggles helped me grow." Lesson 4. English is a tool, not a test. Many learners are afraid of English. They fear mistakes. They fear judgment. But English is not an exam you must pass. It is a tool you can use. Oprah's success came from communication, not perfection. You do not need perfect grammar to be understood. You need courage. ESL integration, opinion sentences. Practice saying, "I believe that my voice is important. In my opinion, learning English changes lives. I think stories help us learn better." These sentences help you speak with confidence and clarity. Oprah's journey reminds us of one thing. You are allowed to dream, no matter where you start. Now let us pause the story for a moment and turn it toward you. Oprah's journey is powerful, but the real purpose of this video is not only to inspire you, it is to help you improve your English with confidence, step by step, in a simple and human way. Just like Oprah found her voice slowly, you can build your English the same way. This is a practical, realistic English improvement plan, especially for learners at A2, B1 level. No pressure, no fear, just progress. 1. Daily listening routine, 15 to 20 minutes. Listening is the foundation of language, just like it was for Oprah. What to do every day. Listen to one English story or one short podcast. Choose slow, clear English. Do not try to understand every word. Focus on the main idea, emotions, tone of voice. Example self-talk. I don't understand everything, but I understand enough. That is success. 2. Story-based learning. your secret weapon. Stories are easier to remember than rules. Why? Because stories have emotion, context, repetition. That is why this channel uses life stories. How to use stories effectively? Listen to the same story 2 to 3 times. First time, just listen. Second time, notice words. Third time, repeat key sentences. You are not memorizing English, you are living inside it. 3. Shadow speaking method. Very powerful. This method helps pronunciation and confidence. How it works? Play a sentence, pause for 2 seconds, repeat it out loud. Copy the speaker's rhythm. Example, my voice matters. You repeat it. You repeat it. Do this for 5 to 10 minutes a day. You do not need perfect pronunciation. You need practice. 4. Slow English practice. Don't rush. Many learners fail because they try to speak fast. Oprah did not rush her voice. She spoke with meaning. You should speak slowly. Use simple sentences. Pause when needed. Example, I am learning English. I feel nervous, but I am trying. This is real English. 5. Confidence-building exercises daily. Confidence grows through action. Try these small habits. Speak to yourself in English for 1 minute. Read 1 paragraph out loud. Write 3 simple sentences about your day. Example journal. Today, I listened to a story. I learned new words. I feel proud. Pride is fuel. You can use story-based YouTube videos, slow English podcasts, your own voice recorder, a small notebook. You do not need expensive courses. You need consistency. You are not late. You are not bad at English. You are just on your way. Just like Oprah was.
Let us return to the opening question. What if the woman you see on television, confident, smiling, powerful, once felt invisible, broken, and afraid? Oprah Winfrey was that woman. She carried pain, fear, and self-doubt for many years. She faced rejection, she faced silence, she faced a world that tried to ignore her. And yet, she found her voice. She spoke. She shared her story. She turned her pain into purpose. Just like Oprah, your story is still being written. Every challenge you face, every moment you feel small, every time you speak English, even imperfectly, adds a new word to your story. Learning English is more than grammar. It is more than vocabulary. It is about finding your voice. It is about connecting with the world. It is about telling your story 1 sentence at a time. Some days will be hard. Some words will be difficult. Some sentences will not feel right. That is normal. That is human. Oprah's journey teaches us that struggle is not the end. It is the beginning of strength. So speak, write, listen, repeat. Feel your voice grow. Feel your confidence rise. Feel your story unfold. And remember this. Your story is still being written, and every word you learn in English is part of that story. The world is waiting to hear your voice, and the first step starts today.